Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to take a look at the Zeta Toys, what they call this thing. Their Silverbolt for their Legends Superion. And here he is in his jet mode, and I use that term lightly because it's like you look at it wrong and, and things just like untab. This thing just does not want to work with me. It's like I get it tabbed in, and then that one comes out, and then something else comes out. It's just... This mode, they really just... I don't think they put much care into getting it to lock together. It's fidgety as fuck. So, real quick, he does come with accessories. Let's see, all the little doohies that he comes with. He's got these two little rubber pads, which I believe just stick right there on the feet to kind of give it a little bit more traction. We'll go ahead and just put those on right now then, actually. Okay, so there's one. There's a little bit more traction there. And here is two. Alright, so that just gives that traction on those feet. Don't know why they have to come separately and not together, or already on there. Then he does come with these little wing bits. These lock onto the or tab into the torso piece. Speaking of which, he does come with the torso piece for Superion. Now, this goes back into what I was saying in the review for the first jets. These guys, QC issues across the board. He's supposed to have another piece that locks into the front. I think it looks fine without it, so I'm okay. But it didn't come with one. I didn't have the front piece, and I didn't realize until I've had this set sitting here for probably 2 months now, I would say, maybe longer. Just been sitting here collecting dust, and I just now realized it. So it's like I don't really care. Otherwise, I would contact the retailer that I got it from. But I honestly don't even remember where I got it from. But I believe these guys just plug into here, like that, and like that. And then they can rotate a little bit, and I'm sure you can pull them out if you wanted to, but and then there's supposed to be another piece that plugs in there, but I don't have it, so oh well. That just goes into the QC of the set. Just kind of like I was missing a gun, I'm missing this, I've got pieces that fall off, I got things that don't tab in. All that's gonna go against it. But we'll look more at this in the next video when we actually do the combined mode. He comes with two heads. He's got the this one, and then he's got the one with the visor. And so it's kind of like up to you which one you want to use. I think I'll probably go with the visor one, or the faceplate one. But I believe this is what the toy had. So you got those options there, and they'll just tab in to this little port here. He also does come with his own gun, which this doesn't tab in. It's just kind of a little loose, and same with the back handle. So you just kind of have to go with the flow on that, with looseness and untabbing joints and stuff like that. It's just kind of par for the course with the set. And then he comes with the larger rifle, and then you take this and you put it in here. We'll show that again when we go to combined mode. And then this will he can either hold this, or I believe this can peg into the arm. I don't know. We will find out. I haven't actually tried that. So, but for now, we're going to just focus on Silverbolt himself here. See, like this, there's nothing here to tab this into place, so it's like if you touch it wrong, it's going to come undone. Same, like this has a tab, but it doesn't fit in, and it's on a ball joint. It's just, there's too many moving pieces for a figure this small. I'm sorry, it's a poor design to have that many moving parts for such a small figure. It's one of the issues with the little jets, or the arm jets. You know, the leg jets for overall have been pretty good, but the arm one's just not as great. So this is the jet mode. No landing gear folds out or anything like that. So that's pretty much what you see is what you get here. So I guess let's just go ahead and transform him, since it wants to just come undone anyway. So just unplug this, and then we can free some bits out here. Untab these, and I believe they just sit on the back there. It's been a minute since I transformed this guy too, and it's just like you just explode the jet, and it's just like, okay, let's let's see here. I believe this opens up, and there's his head. So you fold that out, close that back up, rotate. This will rotate up, tab in, and should lock into place here. There's these tabs here and here that'll plug into these slots here and here. So you just have to get those lined up properly. Come on. There. And then, like, you know, this is how it goes in for jet mode, and there's no tension on this whatsoever. It just relies on, you know, getting to where it needs to go and then tabbing in. I don't think there's anything to lock it outward either. Yeah, I don't think there is. There it goes. So you just got to pull it until you think you're going to break it, and pull it a little bit more. No, that one's just not going at all. Okay, well, that's it. QC. This one seems to be a little bit better. It's such a mess. Alright, and then we can coordinate this up, fold this down, and then you can fold the foot out like this. This will come in, tab in together, just like that. And you can see that this is pretty loose here. So yeah, we're on a winning streak with this set, right? Fold this out, down, down, rotate, lock in, just like that. All right, and then the backpack. There's all sorts of funky ass things. So you fold this up, and this will all tab in together, right? just something else open up. Now that doesn't feel like it's supposed to open. Okay, so that tabs in there, and then that will tab into there. And you can split these like this. This will come up and tab into there. Let's see. This rotates up, tabs into there, and then you fold all of this up, and I believe you're supposed to slide this wing down, and then what do we do here? Like this, I think. So rotate, slide, tab, put that back in, put that back in, and then you can kind of try and get this out of the way the best you can, and then I believe you pull this out, and this will, when you fold this up, this should go right into the back here, like that. And that is his backpack, I believe. Yeah, let's see here. Let me grab the instructions real quick, make sure I got that at least partly right. Wow, these instructions suck. Yeah, we're gonna call that good enough. Close enough. Enough for you guys to get the idea. So yeah, there he is in his robot mode. He looks good. I will say that. Face sculpt isn't the greatest, I'd say, but it's not terrible either. It's actually fairly decent face sculpt. I think the legs did better than he did, but the arms did worse than he did. So he's like right in the middle. For posability, his head is on ball joint, much like the other guys. So you get up to there, side to side. Is this supposed to come down or? I don't know what it's supposed to do. There's something in the instructions kind of pointing it out when I was looking at it briefly. But yeah, see, it said it's like bring that down. But why? I don't understand. I just don't understand these things, guys. Like, why have something so little? Let's try this. Ooh, that improves the figure so much. Fucking idiots. So head's on the ball joint. So you get up to there, down to there, the left and the right, little side to side. The backpack comes undone with the slightest look at it wrong. It's not great at all. Biceps swivels, hinges outwards, pretty good range of motion there. That's probably a good way to do it for such a small figure. And those are staying in now. Good. They weren't before, so. Bicep swivel has a double bend elbow, which works getting them in the full range. It looks a little funky when you really look at how it's working. But otherwise, you're only getting this much. Wrists do swivel, but because they're in the box here, they only go just the tiniest little bit. And I really don't want to pull them out. And as you guys saw, this one does not want to lock in. He has a waist swivel and an ab crunch. So you got great range of motion there if you want it. And then all of this came untabbed again. Hip skirts will move out of the way. And maybe. So you get out to there. Up to there. Back to there. And a thigh swivel. Has a bend at the knee. Rocker, decent amount of rocker. Nothing like extreme, but yeah, I'd give it to him. But the problem is that it doesn't have any friction to it, really. These things, I mean, he's light, so it shouldn't give you too much trouble. But I mean, I don't know, guys. And then the toe tilt. And let's see if he can hold his gun. But the problem is the handle's on a hinge and this is on a hinge, so it's just kind of like, and it's like I picked the worst arm to put it on too, so it's just like a mess. Yeah, there he is. I think that's the best way to describe it. He's a mess. I think he's trying to do too much. Too many little pieces moving around. I really think they just didn't know what to do with half it. And I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't really messed with them, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were basically just taking the larger version of him and just scaling him down and just trying to copy as much as they could from there. And it really just needed an overhaul in engineering for being such a small figure. I could be wrong. You guys probably out there know better than I do on that. The backpack is an absolute mess. It's just a folded up jet on his back. And it's just, I know that's the character essentially. But it's like there are better ways to do that. It's just a mess. Like I said, it's just, I don't know what else to say here. For scale, here he is with the rest of the team. So here are the good ones, the leg bots. Like I've said before, they're a little on the back heavy side still. So you just got to get them right. And with the arm bots, and there you go. So yeah, much like I was saying earlier, he's not as bad as these guys. These guys are just garbage, but he's not nearly as good as these guys. These guys are actually pretty solid figures. He's right in that middle of. I don't like him. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. I think he looks good. He doesn't execute anything whatsoever properly. The backpack sucks. The arm, I got the quality control issue with the arm. I've got quality control issues with the missing that piece on the torso. But the figure in itself, it's like the backpack doesn't tab in, the arm doesn't tab in, the gun is super loose, the ankles are loose. You look at it wrong and he falls apart, especially in jet mode, and he just fails at being a transformer, just completely. And considering, once we get there in the next episode, he just folds up into a brick and you just plug it into the back of this guy. It's just one of those why did we have to go through all this effort to get him to do all this extra stuff when all we're going to do is fold him up and put him inside? It's like they could have just given you a back piece of plastic here and just fix some of his engineering problems. That's one of my problems with the Zeta. It's there's some figures where it's because they fold up and just hide inside, like the Zeta Bruticus. The Onslaught folds up and fits inside the torso piece to the point where it's Well, you don't even need Onslaught to make it. It's like, well, then don't over-engineer Onslaught to make it fit into that backpack. Just make a good Onslaught, and then I think that they did actually have a good Onslaught. But what my point still remains is, like, just make a good Onslaught that just goes from truck to bot, and then just fill this spot in with like another piece of plastic, and just don't put them into the combiner. And that's why I've said before, it's like it's like it would be better if they just did Build-A-Figure pieces. Imagine, spending more money, of course. I think these guys, I think I was saying they're 50, but I think they're actually 39 or something like that, $40 or something like that. But imagine them being like $60 for him. And what he comes with is this figure who's just a jet and then just a leg piece. All it would require is just another piece of plastic about yay big that just fits right there, and the foot, which it already came with, just plugs into the bottom of it, or it's already attached permanently, and it's just like, okay, so you add a little bit more price onto the figure, and there you go. And add an extra $5 on him and put a piece of plastic on there. And it's like, we could do a Build-A-Figure rather than trying to make these jets do 3 things, and then you'd have for that a little bit more money, like I said, but then you'd have Superion with the team. That's what I would do. But so to prepare going into Superion mode, I'm going to flip these guys back into the jet modes because that's the best way to do it. So if you guys are following along or whatever, just do that. I'm going to do that off screen, and then we'll get into Superion and see how we feel about him. But yeah, that's all I got for these guys. As a team, they look good. Well, I hate these things. I hate these things. Like, this looks good. Like, take these guys out, put him here, and that's a pretty solid looking team. The other two they're just garbage. I cannot stand those things. But yeah, anyway, we'll get them into their jet modes, and leave him in his robot mode, and then we'll go from there.